Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back button.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good boy, Coach Lee. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Back at it like we're mad at it. You know what we like to do it around these here pots. Welcome to the Playcall Sheet. Look at the weekend's activities. Talk about the Super Bowl and hit today's news. Before we can do that, let's get the crew up in this bad boy. Right off the bat, my man from the Northeast. What's up, too?
What's going on? It's Monday, Super Bowl week, man. The last week, man, of an incredible season that has gone down, man. Shout out to the 2 teams playing, man. And it's going to be a week of festivities, so hope everybody enjoys it. And up to Sunday, you know, it'll be a lot of things to talk about. Loving the energy. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You know what I'm saying? East Coast, West Coast, South, North. You know what I'm saying? You know, over the border. You know, so shout out to everybody that tunes in on a regular basis. I hope everybody tunes in tonight. But before we resume, though, you know, gotta bring fella Pats fan in. You know what I'm saying? Some news swirled around. Last week, man. My guy Will in the building, man.
There we go. There we go.
Crap off, man.
Something to the house. Let's go.
Take that crap off. Celtics hat off, man.
Best team in the league. Stop playing.
Sir, man.
We here.
Let's get it.
How we doing today, people?
Chilling like a mad villain, fam.
That's what's up. It's good, Unc. I see you out there.
What's up? Oh, let's get him.
Rolling, man. If y'all didn't tune in, man, tune in, man. You know, daily, man. God beyond gospel, man. Roderick and the gang was up there. I seen y'all over there, man, having fun with it. You know, hope you guys having a great day as well.
Absolutely, man. Hanging out with them fellas today at the studio. If you ain't been over there yet, you're missing out. Go check it out if you're local. STW Studios, taking over artists in Texas, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. More than the Cowboys over in the area, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, basketball season. We can talk about football tonight, though.
Let's go. Football. We ain't talking Cowboys tonight because they ain't time yet. You know, maybe, but you know, shout out to the guys. So, you know, before we start off, you know, in the middle of the week last week, you know, we heard some news. The guy retired for the second time, you know, and this time he says it's for good. He's got the sand law in which he retired after the second time being auctioned off on eBay But overall, man, a stellar 20-plus year career, 23 to be exact. Thomas Edward Green has hopefully officially retired from the game of football. Man has given dreams to a lot of individuals who grow up to play in this game. You know, before him, who would have thought of a guy in the 6th round being drafted and they would excel into, you know, eternity, you know, on top of the world, you know, the best football player potentially has ever played the football game. Well, we'll let the critics say it, you know, at the end of his hurrah. You know, it's been a little bit of noise, you know, but I think overall he'll be in the Hall of Fame when he needs to be there, and I don't think there'll be a problem over there. But guys, you know, if you have any input to Mr. Brady's retirement, overall I hate on him his whole career. But overall, you gotta respect greatness. You gotta respect what he's done. Went to another organization after his stint with the Patriots and won another one. You know, was able to get that, you know, that love from teammates, coaches, you know, staff, you know, guys that loved him all around. You know, turned careers around for some guys, you know, notably, you know, Antonio Brown, you know what I'm saying? Guys that have championship rings because of him. So, you know, this is enough of my Tom Brady talk, man. You know, hope the best for you, you know, in your journeys with your children and your family and the Fox contract. But chime into you guys, man, and give your intake on Tom Brady's retirement.
Yeah, man, great career. Greatest career ever, pretty much.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because you are a Pats fan.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, besides all the accolades and all that stuff, what's the one impact that he left on the game? What's his legacy on the game, other than the winning part?
That from start to finish, he played like his hair was on fire. Like he just, with the passion, like he just wanted it every time out there. There was never a moment where he wasn't all the way in and in kill mode. Like he just the most professional. Like there was some questionable moments for sure in his career, but yeah, like he just wanted it bad. He was a great leader, and from all accounts, like he was humble during most of it too. He'd always introduce himself to everybody as, "Hey, I'm Tom Brady," like nobody knew. Yeah, he's just a great player, man. I think he exemplifies what a quarterback should be. People are gonna want to put on the tape and play the game the way he played it from now until. Yeah, I mean, Bill.
I'm just throwing jabs. I'm just here throwing jabs, man.
Yo, Bill. Look, that's the thing. That's the thing. Unfortunately, you're throwing jabs with the guy who said the same thing. I've always said that at the beginning, but here's the thing. I don't think he made him so much as molded him, and like showed him exactly what he needed to know.
Right.
And then he became more powerful than his teaching could ever make him.
Definitely. Tom made Bill. And man, hey, at the end of the day,
they made each other.
They made each other, man. But one thing we take from the complex of Tom Brady's career, you know, that you could take, you know, it's all around in the broader game. He spoke on the herd today, and one thing he did say was, you know, he appreciated, and he said it all through his career. He appreciated the haters, the guys that doubted him. You know, doubted that he can do this and do that, and then he was able to maximize not only his game but his mindset on how to prepare for a game in order to jump over that hurdle. And every week, you know, it was exciting for him to hear people talk about he can't do this, he can't do that. You know, old Tom's too old. And it's motivation, you know what I'm saying? That's what he said, continue to let him grow and continue to go as a quarterback was the noise. And a lot of people can't do it with all the noise on them, you know what I'm saying? There's a number of people in this world have done it, but year by year, consistently, it's a hard task, you know, especially when the media is on you every day. Everybody's on you every day. You can't live a normal life, you know, so shout out to that man on doing that. And just like I said in the beginning, 6th rounder, you know, hopefully he's giving people, you know, more motivation that no matter where you're drafted at, you can become something. I mean, everybody can be Tom, but you can become something.
He remembers every single quarterback drafted ahead of him, like all of the information about them, their school, their stats. Their school, their stats, it's crazy. He was possessed after that. Brock Purdy, man, that's irrelevant. What was that?
Would you rank him all time?
As a quarterback?
No, as a player.
Oh, as a player? Yeah, it's that's an interesting conversation because then you get into like success versus like actual athleticism and skill. Success wise, he's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. He's the greatest player to ever play the game in terms of success. Then you got guys like physically gifted and talented as like a Randy Moss or a primetime Adrian Peterson, where it's like, all right, like, well, where do these guys rank in terms of overall player? That's a little different, like in terms of overall athlete, but he's the greatest to ever play. That's where you got to end, I think.
Coach Lee made Tom Brady. Great coach, man. Hey, coach does it all, man. That's why coach is the best. Yeah, man, you got to talk on it. This man,
I give it to him. 15-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year, 2009 Comeback Player of the Year, 3-time NFL MVP, obviously 7-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Super Bowl MVP.
That's pretty much
Pro Football Hall of Fame's all-decade team for the 2000s and the 2010s, NFL 100 all-time team, most Super Bowl appearances in history at 10, most Super Bowl victories in NFL history at 7, regular season wins all-time 230, postseason wins 35 all-time, career lead passing touchdowns 624, career passing yards 84,520, number 2 in NFL comebacks at 42, and number 2 in NFL game-winning drives at 53.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a resume.
Here's the thing. I love Montana too, but Brady was never throwing to a Rice either. Also, something about Brady that's crazy. If you find the middle point of his career, like the very middle point, cut it in half, he had 2 Hall of Fame careers.
Right, and what you say as well is it's the will, and not only the years that he played, but in the years that he played, that he was able to be on the football field. Now you see a lot of these QBs back in the day. I mean, of course, you had your guys that had long careers, but then you have your guys that have short careers. Tom Brady exceeded a short career, average QB NFL career, and went some more. And I mean, the winning, is the extra cake on the top. Everything that he did plus that is extra points for him. So in terms of you have a 11-man team on the field on offense, Tom's definitely going to be in that window of QBs you want to pick. And in the NFL and history of the game, professional football league, that's great in its own. That's great in itself. Montana was a bad man, but he ain't have the longevity that Tom was able to have, and you can say, oh, well, if he did, blah, 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 but you can't. Careers written. Both of their careers are written.
Tom Brady is the GOAT, period, not just the era.
Tom Brady is the GOAT. We got a lot of GOAT polls over. Shout out to Daryl, shout out to Bobby as well. Tom Brady is the GOAT of this era. Hey, and when this 2020 decade, goes down, he may be on this list too, even though he's only played a short 3 years. So that's 3 decades, potentially 3 decades. We're talking about football. Football, when the risks are there.
Average career is like 3 years, 2.5.
Now,
like that.
like you said, everything with Tom Brady is going to be that they stop, hitting and doing all this and that. But, hey, he's still playing through the game. In my mind, I'm like, you got to think of a way to eliminate him, not in a bad way, but in games in general. And teams weren't able to do that until he hit 40, 41, 42 years old, when, of course, he's going to be on the decline. But he still played magnificent. I felt like coming into last year, it looked. You seen it where everything was going on too. You kind of seen it all going, but he still competed. He never took a game off for low man's. He never took a game off for his family situation. Never did that. Continued to play. Shout out to him.
I like what Daryl said though. He's the GOAT of this era. That's the part I like when you start talking about the GOAT debates and stuff like that. You cannot deny what he did for this era. For me, I try not to get in those type of debates, because you got to look at rule changes, you got to look at skill sets, athleticism, all that stuff.
Yeah, you definitely gotta look at that. You know, it definitely, you don't want to get you in the anti in there, but he's done a great lot. And I mean, if you want to swing that between him and Montana, the Montana guys have an argument in there. Like you said, rule changes and all that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to bring that in there. Bring it in there. But at the same time, you got to appreciate each era and who produces and who is in the class of the eras.
Who is that put Bledsoe out? Was that Mo Williams?
That was Mo Williams from the New York Jets.
Mo Lewis or Mo Williams? Okay.
Mo Lewis. That's the GOAT.
That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT. That's his career. You know
crazy,
what I'm saying?
Who's this person been robbed of Tom's greatness?
He's the Ray J in this equation.
Not the Ray J. That's a great analogy, though, man. I agree.
Only person better than Tom Brady was Willie Beeman. Rolling tonight, Coach Lee is the GOAT of the podcast, man. Shout out to my man. Lots of love, man. Well deserved as well. The last active player drafted by the Expos is now retired.
That is hilarious.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Two sports with the retirement. Thank you, GOAT. Affecting two sports.
Who was it?
That's hilarious. I think Brady got drafted by
that. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
My man outlasted an entire franchise.
Damn.
I wonder if there's a Tom Brady Expos jersey around and how much did it sell for or will it sell for? We got sand, as I mentioned in the beginning, being sold of the place where he announced his retirement. I mean, shout out to the people that know what that place is. But in all, I mean, people don't appreciate your well-being in professional sports until you're at this point of retirement. So it's good to engage in a conversation about him with more positivity than this chit-chatter. And all of us there in shape.
One last thing. Also, his business savvy was crazy because he played this extra year to protect the bag, and no one realizes it.
I realize it too. You have to know, like in a situation of protecting the bag and return to a situation, you kind of know when stuff's hitting the sewer. You kind of know that. So I'm not going to stop playing football because I know what this situation is going to lead me to. I know what I have to do. I'm going to continue to play, continue to do what I do because right now I'm basically living with my own rules, and that's what ultimately comes down to. Like,
now, but what happened was I think they knew that relationship was going down the tubes. So he played an extra year. They get divorced. She gets half of everything. All right, you can have half of everything that I already earned. That's cool. Now I'm going to get my $380 million bag, bigger than the bag that I ever had from playing the whole year, my whole career. Now I go get this. Now I go get this $370 million bag that you can't touch.
Hold on. Tom's like, okay. Okay, I
paid 3D chess.
I paid this for a year, but take a year off because he said that earlier too. I'm taking a year off, and in fall of 2024, I'm gonna go on the broadcast booth. I want to learn. He said he wants to learn the game, and that's normal. Like a lot of people, are like, oh, well, Tom don't know how to control and do things in the booth. Well, Tom himself he knows what he can do and what he can learn. And he knows in this world you can learn.
Tom can do whatever he want to do.
Right, exactly. 4 years. I think it's an NFL 4 years for a player that reached the Hall of Fame 5. He'll be there in 5.
Yeah. NFL don't make exceptions.
Nah,
nobody can get in the chill.
Yeah, first ballot.
Yeah.
He'll be a first ballot. He'll be a first ballot. This won't be a Terrell Owens discussion. There wasn't no problems in the locker room or anything. So he'll be.
All right, man. So next up, we got a pretty interesting story. We probably still got some Saint people on here hanging out with us tonight. But you know what? We're going to crack this bad boy open anyway.
Go marching in.
So here's y'all coach, man, in his new den.
Let's ride.
Broncos' new head coach, Sean Payton. Coach, now that's officially official, what is your reaction just to becoming the 20th head coach in Denver Broncos history?
Certainly excitement. I'm looking forward to the challenge. The tradition here is amazing.
So what do y'all think about that?
They got themselves a ball coach.
They did. You know what I like today too? I saw the header came across that he said it will be no individual coaches or personal coaches coaching their players.
Entourage is all that out, eliminate.
And to me, that was a shot directly to Russ.
Oh yeah, definitely. This all this extra, we over the team stuff, can't go on. First off, what I'm saying, got to break that. Old style coach, old era coach. You know what I'm saying, coached in this era. Before he took a hiatus for a little bit, but that's great. And we all stack the decks on who he was going to go to, and the Broncos were definitely on our radar the whole time. So it's great to see him with a job like this. It's great to see John Elway, and the crew, start to not try to glue things together, kind of like pit things together and try to get the team. Now, it doesn't come all the time with good luck, as we've seen last year. Well, hopefully with a new coaching style and you got a second year of Russell, this team can turn it around. I feel like they can. They still have a top 10 defense. Offense is going to be a question, but I feel like he can get things together. Now, people say he's a middle-of-the-pack coach record-wise. But one thing he's going to do is make sure his team performs any given Sunday on that football field.
It's a culture change.
He already looks stressed, Jacob says.
he nigga all in the face already.
He's been in the sun the last few years. He's been in the sun the last few years. Back to locker rooms and, game planning.
Chill, Will.
Man to man, I'm sorry, I forgot the goodbye name, Boston Matter on Chris, man. It's Willie. But make sure you know his name. You know what I'm saying? Get on here, along with the Darryl. Only thing I care about Colorado is Coach Prime and his squad. Yes, Denver's rolling around. You got the Denver Nuggets. You got Prime in Colorado. They open their season up, with a great getaway.
They open a good season against TCU.
Hey, that only means tickets go up. Everything goes up. And, and the TAC levels go up too there. So, it's going to be interesting time.
Definitely.
So let me ask y'all this. We talked about Sean Payton. Obviously, it's an upgrade. Bringing in a new culture, new atmosphere there. I know there's a little bit of rumblings about him versus another coach. But I'm looking, their records are very similar to one another.
Who?
Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy.
Woof.
155 and 97 for McCarthy, 152 and 89 for Payton.
Yeah.
And that's the day that's gonna go around too. I mean, now we look at days. I mean, we obviously we see like, you might want some conference championships under your belt. You might want some Super Bowls under your belt. But McCarthy, people dog him. But since he's been in Dallas, though the playoff routes, man, I mean, 11, 12 wins a year, but everything matters. Championships matter, playoff appearances and what you do in the playoffs matter. So you're right, Coach. When you bring those comparisons up, it's really a comparison. There's nothing for people to say, well, Peyton's a better coach. But, hey, the team at the end of the day performs on the field and gets the wins or the losses. Now, the play callers can cause some crap, and things happen. But ultimately, the players are to blame for these activities that go on, especially when your team don't win. But the coach, Sean Payton, he hopefully can get these guys in double digits. McCarthy's had teams in double digits. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem with both of them is that, QB's declining, organizations declining, and that's the downfall of it. I feel like, it's a positive comparison for both of them to be compared to each other. The media is just going to spike it, to make one coach look extremely better. But the numbers are right there, Coach, and you always bring it up, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not that high, but he's a great, respectable coach that's going to get the attention of the guys in the locker room.
He's definitely going to demand the attention. You got to think, to me, he became who he is today, and he established his coaching philosophy when his tenure with Parcells. I think that's when he found out what type of coach he wanted to be. And then models a lot of his stuff kind of after Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he demands the control of a locker room. He wants to have some say-so in the personnel. And he's got a philosophy that he believes in. And no matter who he has in there, he believes it's going to work regardless.
It's like Parcells, but he's more offensive, better with quarterbacks.
Yes. Yes.
I hope Denver goes 0-16. Man, come on, well, 0-17. And Chris says Denver can use Andy Dalton, man. Hey, Andy Dalton, man. Who couldn't use Andy Dalton? Who doesn't want a redhead quarterback in their locker room? You know, I watched the YT clip, and it said at least 30% of Russ passes hit the receiver, and it was dropped. Yeah, it says a lot, man. You know, you think stuff's gonna be prime and sweet. You know, you go from Tyler Lockett and Metcalf to some guys of Sutton and Judy and them, and hey, it's growing pains, and the growing pains were last year's, and then tough. And we gotta remember too, a tough AFC West. Maybe tougher next year, depending on who they bring in and bring out. What teams improve, what teams don't. It's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah, it's a tough division. That's the one reason I think he would go there. That division is rough.
Jake, we do. My baby brother's a Broncos fan. Has been since the early 80s.
Denver, man. Denver fan. Denver, man, in the building. Hey, Denver needs to get back into it. I said it a couple years ago. John Elway was just doing some things that I didn't think he would be doing, in his position. And, I mean, hopefully it's not too late, but he's trying to clean it up a bit. So I got to respect that.
We shall see. Do they play each other this year? Or they haven't announced the schedule format yet?
I don't think so, no.
Let's take a second to pray for everyone in Turkey. Definitely. Praise to everybody in Turkey. Prayers. Definitely.
Yeah.
We shall see. Good luck to the Saints. Good luck to the Broncos.
I heard 4 coaches left the Saints to go over to Denver to go coach with Sean Payton.
Yeah, I definitely said that tongue in cheek. All I got to say is bring out your bags.
In all seriousness, Sean bought a Super Bowl to the freaking Saints. You know how hard that is? Definitely, it is hard.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a legend in that alone.
I wonder if they get Mike Thomas and Kamara to go over there with him.
Hearing right now,
they need a running game.
They do need a running game. A number one receiver like Michael Thomas could be.
Yeah, Al Kamara's on the move. Al Kamara's in trade talks right now. Potentially, I'm hearing the Rams may look at him in the offseason.
The Rams?
How the Rams got?
Hey, I heard this morning. I heard a couple teams are interested in him, but I heard one of the teams on the list are the Rams. I don't know how they're going to
dump Ramsey contract.
They ain't got no capital.
They don't
mute us. Don't mute us, Bobby. That's it. I think the dark horse to get AR-12 is going to get him. Jets are desperate enough to give up picks. Yeah, they're desperate and they have the picks. They've been bad for 90 million years. Desperate to be good. They waste draft capital for them. Yeah, they have capital that you can just give up to go get them. And the Packers are like, okay, we'll take it, but we'll see what happens. We got a little Aaron coming in a little bit, so you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned.
Hey, those Jets, man, until what's the running back that got hurt this year for them? The rookie? They was balling at one point, man.
Yeah.
They had a good
all I had them boys balling.
Yeah, so I had them.
They had a
terrible quarterback play.
Yeah.
And the quarterback just got worse. Quarterback got hurt, became worse, and then that was the end of it. It just broke the bone every week where you're like, well, he's going to start, and then he's going to start. That was the headache of the team, where Saul, at the end of the day, and it's not his fault, had to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to be great in service to Zach Wilson because of the way he was drafted at, and it's your job to try to grow and groom a quarterback. But when he's not, being provided the right water, or himself not growing himself, it's not the Jets' fault. You have to go to White, and then you have to look at Rooney. So that's the headache. That was the headache with the Jets. Coach Lee, job at New Orleans.
I'll take that job.
Bye. Take care, Chris.
I'll take that job.
I'll take that job in a heartbeat. Just to have the year, even
But
if they fire me.
definitely have a Cowboy.
Just get QB. Yeah.
Oh, good one, Chris.
Question every year with teams, man. But you still got to remember, man, different situations, especially for a guy like Rodgers who's been in Green Bay his whole career. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't click all like that. Everybody doesn't have that magic like that. Remember, still got to continue as a team.
Rodgers is the Kyrie Irving of football. You don't know if he's going to show up, is he going to be focused, and what type of drama outside of football is there going to be.
Yeah. That's funny.
So next up, this is a very uninspired story. But we still got to cover it.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of my Cowboys, they named Brian Schottenheimer as the new offensive coordinator.
So,
Two, I would defer to you first.
going backwards.
Absolutely. How do you feel about that, Two?
When I seen it, I thought the same thing. Thought we was going backwards. But actually, this might be a little bit of freelancing in regards to everybody else that's just around in the staff and the coaching staff. Now, I still feel like McCarthy will still get a bite to call plays. Feel like it's another Jerry Jones exclusive.
Exclusive.
I think it's another Jerry Jones exclusive. Yeah, you could have went high maintenance and went to go get a high paying OC man. But you got somebody that you probably paying favorable right now, kind of in his favor. Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the ground on this. I'm not gonna say the guy's an overall bust. You know, he's had familiarity in our system. You know, being there.
He's only had a top 10 offense just when he was in Seattle. He didn't do anything.
Yeah. All right, that's more why I'm saying it's more of a freestyle in terms of to the other coaches on the staff. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everybody's going to have a piece of this, which probably may be it right now until you find a long-term fix, the best possible situation. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like
I think the long-term fix going to be this season already starting off bad. Jerry's probably like, I'm not hiring any more coaches to do contracts. I gotta pay out once they gone. I think it's a make it or break it season for McCarthy.
Yeah. I feel like last season should have been too, but somehow it wasn't. So now he's definitely on the hot seat.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know back-to-back 12-win seasons, but I'm like, most of that had to do with, my opinion is, the defense balled out for most of the season, the last 2 years, this year especially. He took advantage last year of a weak division, a little bit better this year. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you got to look at clock management. You got to look at situational play calling. All that's questionable. That stuff's on your head coach. And now he's about to call the freaking plays from the sideline, and he already got those issues going on. It smells like disaster.
Hey. It may smell like disaster, but I mean, hey, like you said, football's a change, crazy change. Especially if you're like, oh yeah, you can get here and there, you don't. It definitely sucks, because then you fall on that year that you're like, damn, now we're 4-12, we're 4-13, we're 5-12. But ultimately, you know, may have to be humbled. May have to be humbled in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? For the teams that we've had, teams that haven't succeeded, may have to be humbled like this. You know what I'm saying? The last time that we had a bad season, we were humbled and we gained out to, you know, have a great defense now and things like that. You know, it's just a matter of, you know what I'm gonna say, Coach. Again, having both sides of the seesaw even. You know, it's never that way. It's never that way.
I need
maybe a hump season where we're bad, you know, could help that.
Yeah, get y'all a real quarterback.
Don't set it around too.
How you feel about the talk of long-term downturn with that? I mean, this situation is a situation.
Well,
he's our guy. He's gonna be our guy.
Can't pay him long term anymore.
He's gonna be our guy.
You got to. Are you going to eat $49 million this year? And I think it's like $51 million next year where you can get out the contract.
Cool. You keep him So that contract ends.
Yeah, you eat that. You take that contract. Like I'm saying, there's no reason
Draft the quarterback. Hope
let
you
him
hit
ride
like 30.
This ride out. You ride out, Jerry. You didn't have to sign it in the first place, Jerry. You signed it, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? So ride it out, Jerry. Ride out. Ride out. But this is unfamiliar because Dak threw a bunch of interceptions this year, and now he's feeling the effects now. Like, okay, you had your years where you talked about nice and through the mistakes, they still didn't really blame you. You know, you're grown. NFL grown now. You're NFL QB officially. You're officially under the microscope. You're officially in the news, not because you're playing. You're in the news because of the mistakes you make it. So let's see how it goes for him. That's another dimension for this man to hopefully hurdle over, and we'll see it next year. I mean, this year was bad, and a lot of people are just jumping. I'm not going to jump on him yet. But best believe that new season come in. Woo! And I'm like, yeah, man might need it.
But in all seriousness, that's enough about the Cowboys.
Yes, definitely enough about the Cowboys. As the offense is going to be more of a freestyle.
I think we've had plenty talk about what the Cowboys.
Well, you see, I said what I had to say.
Yeah.
Kept it moving.
Yeah, we're done with these Cowboys, man. At least
next
year.
We talked about him a little bit. We're going to talk about Mushroom Boy, as some people call him. So, Aaron Rodgers has heard Raiders fans please during the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Is there any way in hell that he's going to end up in Vegas?
Could end up that way. Now we know Vegas in the last few years potentially talked about trying to rail Tom Brady in there. There were people looking to go, move to Vegas just to have Tom Brady feel comfortable. Now, I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, two completely different people. But, hey, and you're pitting a list up, guys, Aaron's not too far away from, being on that list next to Tom. And
he better bring an old line with him.
Yeah, definitely better do that. But Vegas has to kind of, give that to him. Like, it kind of has to be like that. Like, are y'all going to improve something? Going to bring guys in? You're going to spend money? Like, what are you going to do in regards to that? And all sweet and sound, because Devontae Adams is there. I think that's another reason why I banged a tweet last week saying where Aaron Rodgers is going to live out in Vegas, and Devontae said he can live in my neighborhood, But all rounds up to the Jets, man. All rounds up to the Jets in this situation, in terms of, the Vegas is going to be attractive in terms of where you want to go, on your off day. But New York and their football team is more interested in terms of what they have built now. That comes with offensive line and things of that nature, other things that make you look like you didn't leave Green Bay for no reason. So,
Bobby, what's Bobby saying? Yeah. Bobby, he don't need a no trade clause. He's 37 years old. He could just play the retire card.
Right, exactly. Rodgers is an idiot for not having a no trade clause in the contract. He can get traded to Houston if
he don't need one. He don't need one. He could just be like, yo, if you trade me there, I'm going to retire.
Yeah. And
then nobody will cough up
now,
any kind of collateral for him.
According to Vegas, Green Bay is still the favorite at plus 150. But the Raiders are second at plus 400.
Yeah, it makes sense. His boys down there, and they got a offensive-minded coach.
The Jets are
third. Who's third?
The Jets.
Okay.
Now, this fourth place team is kind of intriguing.
49ers?
Dolphins.
Weird. Really weird.
49ers are fifth.
Okay.
New England is sixth.
I heard that ringing too. That was crazy to me to hear that rumor or like.
That's because of the. I believe the Patriots are on the list because of the draft capital. I believe a lot of these teams are on the list because of what they can provide them draft capital wise for him, and I feel like that's why the Patriots go there. Patriots still none of it in a situation with Matt Jones, okay, but overall these teams that I mentioned have QBs that would probably be swung in that deal if you grab Aaron, because there's no point in keeping them there. There's no point in keeping them there. And then you got Jordan Love in Green Bay. So, technically, what you're saying is, oh, man. And that's why Green Bay's still on the top, because at the end of the day, this could be all smoke and mirrors, and Green Bay just says, hey, we're going to keep this man another year. We don't trust Jordan Love.
Yeah, they clearly don't trust Jordan Love, or they would have made a decision already.
This keeps continuing. The QB kingdom is going to be somewhat closed because not unlike him and other QBs that are looking to move into different spots, along with guys coming in. When draft comes, this is going to get very interesting. Let's see how fast it takes for Aaron and all the Packers to make up their minds on this situation. Remember last year draft, they wanted to get him away last year. He was stalling, draft came, stalled, and then wide receiver leaves. So, how long can you wait for Aaron Rodgers to stall? Has to be a time limit or something on it.
Yeah. Interesting. Can't wait to see how it unfolds.
I do like what Godfrey said on the next comment about Derek Carr.
Derek Carr may come to the Saints. Yeah, I mean, and like somebody was saying today, I was hearing, he may have like 3 to 5 more years in him. Saying Derek Carr and play in the position. Now we don't know how that 3 to 5 year restraining, if he'll be a starter, the next 5 years. But he's a guy that still has stuff left in the tank. But the Saints have a horrible QB situation going on right now.
I don't know what the Saints doing right now.
You're going to let all those guys go. I mean, if they do go get a guy like Carr, they're going to let all those guys go. Keep one of them at least. I don't know what guy will be kept. Probably be Andy Dalton that be kept. I think the project with James is done. Young boy that was there, he's probably done too. You keep Taysom Hill because he's a utility guy. You can use him at any given point. So, yeah. Saints can be in that bag too for Derek Carr in a sense, but when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, yeah, man, this is another story in the life of Aaron, and you get to hear him every week on the Pat McAfee show. So catch him tomorrow potentially. Talking about what he's gonna do next, maybe.
Yeah, he loves talking about himself.
He definitely does.
Mushroom boy.
Even if you trade for him in the next offseason to be like, well, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I need to wait for the wind to blow my ear to tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I see him as a bridge QB until we mold our guy. I mean, yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because the Saints definitely want somebody in the future. They're going to have to go get somebody in the future because, like you said, even if they go get Carr, it's not going to last that long. We need to keep Kamara, Jameis done, Mike Thomas gone. Yeah. That's pretty much see what the Saints look like. Look like they're just going to scratch, entirely and go full rebuild.
What does Mike Thomas go?
Mike Thomas
might go to Denver. Might go to Denver too.
They got room for him there.
I mean,
they got Sutton. They got
Sutton and Judy, and then Hamler is more of a gadget guy. Yeah, you put Judy in the slot, Sutton and Thomas on the outsides. That's pretty dangerous.
I can see that.
Oh man, you see, man. Ooh, I mean,
was it Deluge, the tight end?
I'm gonna say this, man, and I don't know if the Giants want to do it, but I think he can end up a Giant.
Yeah, they can't take that risk after Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, Kenny Galladay. That's what I'm saying. They can't really take that risk.
Yeah,
but, I mean that's another team to look at in terms of
a short shot guy if they bring somebody in, like somebody who's definitely gonna play.
Hey, two. A ghost team they've been talking about that you might like.
Who?
Your team.
Cowboys?
Because of McCarthy and that West Coast system that he's going to implement.
I mean, yeah, I feel like you have to.
Wait, for who? For Mike Thomas?
Yeah.
Cowboys, I feel like we could use that help, not especially Michael Thomas, but we need a guy. We need a second guy.
Why? Is CD not enough?
No. CD. CD's the guy. But
I think he'll be all right. Gallup came back too soon. He'll be all right.
Yeah, Gallup came back too soon.
To keep the red eye out. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing a lot of rumbling when it comes to the wide receiver position in the Dallas Cowboys. DeAndre Hopkins been surfaced in regards to potentially being traded. The Cowboys is on that list. Now I'm hearing Michael Thomas today.
What? He tripping, man. CD's not the guy.
Coffee.
CD was all pro this year.
CD's not the guy. CD's not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, somebody that in the media's mind, you know, is a bigger name than CD. Why not? CD makes CD flourish even more. You know what I'm saying? You seen him in that game yesterday, you know what I'm saying? He's still doing damage. You know what I'm saying? CD, don't sleep on CD. CD overcame this year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he was, you know, he did some good things this year.
He overcame a crazy offensive coordinator and a bum QB, so yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Why y'all kick up top? We kicked him up because, you know, after the Odell mess, you know what I'm saying? There's the great law-abiding citizen that T.Y. did. He didn't cause no problems for the locker room.
Other than CeeDee Lamb's, both of all of our remaining receivers were like at the bottom of all receivers in the NFL for separation. That's why we picked up T.Y. But on this other side, I'm looking. Bobby asked, "What would it take to to get Mike T?" Nothing.
Not much.
They don't want him.
Not much at all. Him not playing it basically ruined all his value. So
yeah, he's on this year. If they cut him, he's a $26 million cap hit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If he stays, it's $13 million. If they trade him, you're probably looking at like a day, like a 6 or 7 round pick you might get for him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So a lot of receivers, man, gonna be up and down, man, in the free agency, man. I'm hearing that Keenan Allen to potentially the Chargers may cut him.
Washed up.
So but I mean, there's gonna be guys that still gonna be, you know, looked at by football teams, regardless of injury or whatever. We've seen the guy in Josh Gordon who couldn't even get out his own way, and teams still looked at him, even if it was just a peek at the door. You know, these guys definitely will get the opportunity and chance, you know, to get that opportunity and chance to potentially, you know, make right with.
Yeah.
So, fellas, let's hit our first break for the night.
Absolutely.
We're going to be back in about 15, 20. Hold on to your butts. Be right back.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Welcome to the Playcall Sheet. Y'all hanging out with your boys tonight. We just briefly went through some of the latest NFL news. Now we move to something else a little bit more fun. We're gonna take a look at the NFL honors. Obviously, everybody knows this week is media week for the NFL.
Yeah,
everybody's doing their thing, and this is when they start to announce, you know, they've already announced the finalists because they're going to announce. I think it's the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
The night. Yep.
And the Hall of Fame inductees as well. So first off the bat, we're going to look at the AP Most Valuable Player. There are 5 favorites. I'm going to read them out. Y'all tell me who y'all think should win it.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes.
It's Mahomes to lose. Solid for Mahomes, man. He did the thing. He played every game. He got his team to one of the best records in the league again. And it's, I mean, I know they don't count the playoffs, but it's shown out.
Right.
He's in the big game. So it all adds up. Your probably next best candidate would have been Hurts, but he got hurt.
Yeah.
So that put a damper on his MVP season. Plus, like, again, I know it's always weird when you break the name down, but most valuable to the team, like, you take Mahomes off that Chiefs team, they're not a playoff team at all.
Not even close.
Take Mahomes, man. Take Mahomes, but in this situation, Mahomes does host that trophy. He may want to, you know, kiss that Super Bowl goodbye because usually that doesn't work in favor of guys that do win MVP. You know, just based off, you know, logical status. But he has a chance to win. He's different. You know, and that's the difference between Patrick Mahomes and a lot of guys. But nah, in all, Patrick, you know, most valuable to his team, most valuable in all sense in the NFL. Jalen is ascending, but the value is not heavy high yet. So, you know, When you look at the most valuable player in the NFL, yeah, Patrick Mahomes definitely gonna get it. Hurt simply because you saw the 2 games he was out, how they looked. They lost to the Saints, for crying out loud. You see, hey, you see, and you get these other votes too. People don't realize for your playoff performances, and Patrick Mahomes, that's gonna edge in too. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it's his. It was his, for the last couple years to lose. You know what I'm saying? Rather he lost it or not, he's always in the conversation. He will remain in the conversation for years and years and years to come because of how much they rely on him in Kansas City. Unless they lose it. That's different. Philly Super Bowl champs. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. MVP, you know what I'm saying? Usually he's not a Super Bowl champion. But Patrick Mahomes has a chance to change that standard on Sunday night.
You know why it's going to be Mahomes? I'm looking at their I thought it was a lot closer than that. So, Hurts missed what, 2 games, y'all said?
Yeah.
So, for completions, you're talking about 306 versus 435. Granted, Hurts doesn't throw as much as Patty does. Completion percentage was very close. But these are the 2 stats that actually 3 stats that kind of caught me off guard. Yards, you're talking about 3701 versus 5250.
Yeah.
Who has the better wide receivers?
Not even close.
So, second thing is,
although Kelsey's really good, but
yes. Touchdowns, passes, 22-41 for Patty. Interceptions, 6 versus 12, granted. Now, this is what threw me off. Now, Hurts has 760 rushing yards to 358 from Patty, but Hurts 4.6, Patty 5.9.
Interesting. Yeah, and his aren't design runs. That's why he gets more out of them.
Right.
It's usually when it's man to man and everybody's back's turned, he takes off. Yeah, it's look, statistically, Hurts did some nice things, but he also had a better offense around him.
He did.
Like you give Mahomes AJ Brown, and
they don't want to. My young boy, they don't want to.
He's gonna run it up.
Top commercials yet. They don't want to. They don't want to pay the money to have my boy on the big sets. During commercials. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Jalen ain't gonna win it. You know what I'm saying? His value is not as high as Mahomes right now. You know what I'm saying? If Mahomes is not in the Super Bowl.
Conspiracy minute with 2 quarters.
No. Yep, conspiracy theory. If Mahomes is not in the Super Bowl. If Mahomes not in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts will win this MVP award. But the value overcomes, man, when you keep advancing with Patrick Mahomes and, you just keep advancing. So, why is the MVP not mentioned, before the playoffs starts, the regular season award, right? Because they're looking for these extra games and zip up the juice. And Patrick Mahomes sure did zip up the juice, you know what I'm saying, during this AFC playoff run. Definitely.
Next up, we got AP, Defensive Player of the Year. The 3 finalists for that are Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, and Micah Parsons.
Nick Jones. Who and Micah Parsons?
Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, and Micah Parsons.
Bosa.
I always default to Micah. He's just a problem, but it's probably gonna be Bosa.
I was thinking, obviously, at the beginning of the season, Micah was the favorite. Bosa came on strong towards the end, but then to me, Bosa disappeared in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he definitely did. But Micah, I feel like did too. And I feel like I
think Jones may be the dark horse.
Parsons had it one. I would be funny now. Parsons had it one until he started dealing with social media and going on Twitter and writing things and going back and forth. And I felt like his play with this nowadays, they got him now. We don't want you in a situation like this, Parsons. We want you to be just, going out there and performing more than you're on Twitter. But it seemed like he was on social media more than, his effectiveness on a football field. And that's what the outcome is. That 11-game win streak for the 49ers definitely did it well with the way that defense was playing in that time.
For me, I'm gonna have to say Chris Jones.
He's a beast, man.
He's a problem.
Yeah. one-man wrecking crew. There's not really another true, like, legit defensive lineman or linebacker next to him or behind him. Like, he makes everybody around him better by attracting all the attention he does.
Gotta account for him in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. That's the reason why he definitely could steal it. You know what I'm saying? For that reason right there. You know, the rest of these guys, the other two, you know, they have people around them, you know what I'm saying, that can help them out. And Chris Jones for years, you know, it's been playing at this pace, playing at this rate, playing awesome. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get that recognition. You know, so it's going to be a good race to decide who the defensive player of the year is. But all three of these guys, you know, definitely deserve mention and their flowers for just competing at that level on that side of the field. So many guys that could be named.
True that. AP Offensive Player of the Year: Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes.
Gotta be Hill, in my opinion. Hill goes to a new team. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes made you. You're just fast." Well, he's just fast to the tune of, I think, 1,600 more yards.
I think he had his best season this year, right?
I believe so. And touchdowns, like playing with Tua, who's a walking head case, literally. You got to give it to Hill, I think.
I'm going to go Justin Jefferson on this one.
I would too, but he didn't score enough for me.
I know he definitely didn't score enough, and that could be a reason why. But I'm thinking that they're gonna give this man some love. They're gonna give this man some love in that department, man. I think that the yards this season that he was able to accomplish, man. I think they're gonna give it to him in regards to that. Now Tyreek's definitely, you know, that dude. I want people to realize that though Tyreek left Kansas City and left Patrick, which I would have never done. That dude definitely balled out and showed that, hey, I can go blossom. I can make any quarterback go look good. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to do that with Tua and able to keep the numbers that he was sustaining in Kansas City.
For me, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts on this. Just what he did do for the team. Like
passing and rushing,
yeah.
He wins it. It's disrespectful. Not in the sense that he shouldn't win it. It's like, damn, you gonna put me an offensive player of the year? Shit. That kind of smells like an MVP being robbed from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. I would take that award if I'm Jalen Hurts that night, knowing that I will probably lose the MVP vote. Like, really?
Now, this next one is kind of a weird category because I don't know who to go with on this one. But AP Offensive Rookie of the Year: Brock Purdy, Kenneth Walker, and Garrett Wilson.
That's super tough. Wilson had a great year. So did Walker. I think Walker was more relevant to his team's wins than Garrett Wilson was. And then you got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
He won 11 in a row.
Yes, he did. And also, wait, was he the quarterback for all of those?
No.
Earlier was Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And then
he went 6 and what was his record?
Yeah, he didn't lose until the playoffs, I don't think.
For that NFC Championship game.
But there's also the linear time of
5 games. He started 5 games.
Of McCaffrey being there too. So yeah, Purdy you can't have it. As much as he was Cinderella, you can't have it. So I go Kenneth Walker.
I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson.
He was a horse all year, Kenneth Walker.
I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson. The consistency, along with the games not being missed, Garrett Wilson will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I feel like Kenneth was a beast this year. You know, was limited though. You know, going towards the end of the season. You know, I think he had hamstring issues. And I'm gonna take Garrett. I overall, he was a fantasy guy for me this year in a lot of leagues.
Plus, he did it with like subpar quarterbacks. So
he showed out. He showed out. And he had subpar quarterbacks. Mike White. He didn't have a guy that's like, damn, I can get. Hold on, if he had a guy every week that was like consistent,
who knows? Yeah,
numbers would have been 10. Listen, but Garrett Wilson.
Olave did get robbed. I know he was a front runner at one point in time. But I think the way they just tailed out towards the end.
They tailed out and then Brock Purdy came with distance. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely bumped, Olave off the board.
Should have been nominated.
Brees Hall would have been another one too if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, Brees Hall too. Definitely would have been Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, and Kenneth Walker. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
All the running back from the Jets, right?
Yeah, Brees Hall. Yeah, he was the running back.
You know what's scary about this? We were talking about the Jets earlier. We just talked about Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. We just talked about Hall, who got hurt, who easily at one point in time was considered the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yep. Now we're going to look at the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Who's easily them?
Yeah. Sauce Gardner.
Not even a question on this one.
Sauce Gardner, Aiden Hutchinson, Tariq Wooden.
Sauce wasn't just the Rookie of the Year. Sauce was possibly Defensive Player of the Year, and he definitely was
down corner.
And he definitely was the best corner in the league this year.
It was. So, it wasn't even close.
It wasn't.
He had the best nickname in the NFL. All around, his best everything on the defensive side, along with the nickname. The nickname would have gave him votes, even if he wasn't doing anything on the defensive side. Yeah,
in training camp, one of his teammates in training camp was like, "I ain't calling him Sauce. Call him by his name. You got to earn that."
Yep, I want to hear to start next season. Call him Sauce.
They was all calling him Sauce by week 4. Trust me.
You know who it was. That's crazy that the Jets had that good of a draft this year.
Yeah.
New Jets, maybe?
Look, and they just barely missed it. They could have been 2 drafts in a row if they got the Wilson move right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
AP, Comeback Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Geno Smith.
This is ugly because every way, shape, and form it should be Barkley because of all the injuries and he came back. But like in terms of this award, he got hit with a chainsaw, man. Because Geno, it's got to be Geno.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Geno got socked up by a lineman. To now, what I'm saying, still being able to be in the league and go up for awards like this year, man. You can't overlook Geno Smith in this situation. Shout out to Geno. Shout out to I want to give a shout out to Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley coming off injuries, plagued years, that just have great performances and great overall play on the football field. You know me, I'm a guy. I'm in a lot of debates over, best running backs in the NFL. And every year these guys are up there, and I'm sitting here like, dude, these dudes is hurt. Like, these dudes give no more ability to the position. These guys are sitting around here being hurt. Now, you can blame whoever you want for the injuries, but I feel like at times I disrespect them guys. So, shout out to them guys for having great years and being able to be talked about, going into next season as top guys, not being hurt this season, being able to go out there and perform and play.
Absolutely. AP Coach of the Year. We got 5 nominees. I already know who I'm going to go with. Let me see who y'all talking about.
I'm tied between 2 people.
Brian Dabble.
1.
Sean McDermott. Doug Peterson.
2.
Kyle Shanahan. Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I'm tied between Dabo and Peterson. I want to lead towards Peterson because like he fixed Trevor Lawrence. He got that team right in the ship. Got us to the playoffs.
That's the first round.
But Brian Daboll, he took a team with almost no talent on offense other than
he changed the culture there, like overnight.
It's crazy, yeah. He's having a Salah effect on that team, so it's rough. Look, there won't be a loser to that one. Pretty much, out of those 2, whoever wins it deserves it if they get it.
Coach of the Year, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah,
I'm not being a hater. I'm not putting Sirianni in there.
All these coaches in there. I think Mike Sirianni will end up winning it. I think he'll end up winning it, man.
He is in the bowl, and he did win the toughest division in the league.
Yeah, and you gotta look at it too. Last year when he came in, everybody was joking and laughing at
him. He had.
Oh no, it's okay. We went from having this roster this year, and then you look at last year, him coming in. Wasn't it last year's first year as a coach? Yep. And that's the effect. Like they're gonna look at that effect.
To be fair, they had most of this roster last year too.
Yep.
Most of
it. So it's gonna be a complete turnaround. If you see that, they're gonna say, "Oh, he completely turned this team around, and then he's the coach of the year now." You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do that.
My vote, because of what he had to deal with, is Shanahan.
Shanahan too.
Shanahan and Dabble.
Definitely, he'll definitely be 2 on my list. Shanahan will be 2 on my list, definitely. It's hard
He's down to what, his
three
third string
QBs.
quarterback, and he made the
Four.
championship?
Four. He had
See.
to deal with one in the conference championship game too.
See, I can make a case. I can make a case that as a coach, he didn't even know his own personnel. Your team got infinitely better when you put a rookie in, which means you went out there with 2 other guys before that rookie that weren't the guy.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I
You
feel like
weren't nearly as good.
I feel like they just I just felt like Brock was just a guy that came in and things happened. I wouldn't even throw that on. I wouldn't even throw that personally on Shanahan. That's just the way weird stuff works. Like, I guess San Fran's really supposed to be a team that's really supposed to be, contenders, because goddamn.
But when Purdy came in, he knew right away that he could open up the playbook. Like, he started throwing more, getting downfield more, and yeah, well, you always had that option, and you started Lance first and then Jimmy. And because of that, you started off 4-4.
NFL politics is what I said. NFL politics.
You head coach, you can be above the politics.
No. You could be if the NFL lets you. Hold on. Hold on.
Conspiracy minute. Here we go.
You had a top 3 pick. That guy, for some reason, automatically gonna get the chatter unless you're Ryan Leaf. You had Jimmy G, who was a successor under Tom. I guess for Tom being in the league, you're gonna get that talk of Jimmy. I mean, and then you have Brock. So, I feel like the NFL politics played a key in it. When it was time for Brock to play the position, he kept his eyes open, and that was the key. He could have been the 3rd string and absolutely was dwindled because I feel like I should start. He really felt like he probably should start over the 3. So I agree with you in that aspect. Purdy probably believed he was better than the other 2 going into training camp, but had to wait his time. Had to wait his time, man, and now he got to wait his time again because now he's hurt.
Tommy John surgery, or maybe that's alleged. I haven't heard.
Somebody, if they probably had made the playoffs, that I think would have been in there and won it if they made the playoffs. Dan Campbell.
Yeah, because that team's culture is turning around too.
I know. Obviously, my favorite team is and why the coach of my second team. I found myself cheering for the Lions a
lot this year, a lot, and not just cheering for them, but thinking, man, teams don't want to see this team. They don't want to see this offense.
No,
they don't want to deal with that offense, especially when my guy Jameson gets into shape, really game shape. They don't want to see this offense at all. So
they beat some people up.
Yeah, they got to get a single player on defense who can get a stop.
Yeah, Dan Campbell, Mike Sanders, what I'm saying? The team wanted to just, stand up, help out the QB position. It was a lot of coaches deserving. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches could have been deserving of this award, depending on how seasons would have went. Situations.
Their draft, they should basically get one good offensive lineman that they're sure about, and then the rest should be defensive players.
Yeah. The balance that thing got.
Help that rookie out, Hutchinson, because he's a good piece to build around.
The last category, and first off, before I ask this, or reveal it rather, what other head coaching positions are still open?
Are the Colts open still?
Colts are still open.
Colts. Who else? I can't think right now. My head's done.
Colts. Man, I think that might be the only position.
Saints is taking who else?
Hold on. I think.
Who's with the
Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah, who's with the Panthers?
Frank Wright.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
So the reason why I asked that is this is for the AP. Where'd it go? This is for the AP assistant coach of the year. Ben Johnson, offense coordinator for the Lions. D'Amico Ryans, 49ers DC, now Texans head coach. And it's Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
Eagles OC. That may be the dark horse for either Arizona or Indy.
Right, because you got to think about it too. The NFL was gonna let everybody know they kind of already tagged the Rooney Rule. So I would hope that there's another African American coach hired, but there probably won't be. So don't go on the uproar, everybody, because they did their due diligence based on the rules that they have placed. So the Mika Ryan, they got, but I think the Mika Ryan should win this award. I think he should win this award. You say he was the DC and San Fran?
Yes. I give it to Ben Johnson.
He did a goddamn job there. He did an excellent job with that defensive team. Teams are 0-15 after playing them.
He got some horses over there though.
They stacked up.
It's good to have a voice. It's good to have some dogs over there, but you keep that dog in you. Nothing changes it. Not a good player that's coming in, any of that. You keep that same dog, and those guys respond the same way you are as a football coach. I feel like that's a great mixture.
I think Ben Johnson did it for the simple fact that he turned Jared Goff around.
Goff, like, and that's how I think. Goff wasn't as bad as people thought he was. Goff was still a really good quarterback.
You got to remember with Goff, he was there with Fisher at first, right?
Yeah.
Fisher kills quarterback. Look what he did to Vince.
Yeah. I give it to Ben Johnson too because, man, as good as D'Amico was, like he was 4-4 at one point, and then they got McCaffrey and Purdy got going, and when that offense started kicking in, that's when they started winning. Even though the defense was the heart of the team.
Yeah, but I feel like even with the losses, I feel like the losses was more on the offensive side. The defense was doing their thing. The defense was keeping the teams low score. I mean, they lost to the Bears opening day, but it's not like the Bears went over there. The Bears scored 30 points on the Cowboys. They didn't score no 30 points on the 49ers defense.
Yeah, no, 49ers deal. Again, like, they had a great roster, and also, well, yeah, like the facts are the facts. Like they went, it was 4-4 at one point.
You got to slow down on all these lines potentially winning awards. Now they're trying to get into the playoff spot. They're trying to walk. We can't.
They getting everything but what they really want, which is playoff runs. But
yes, but it's good for their knowledge for awards. So
I want to build up the Lions, man. We only good as our weakest link, and they've been a weak link for years. So
we all gonna have Lions hats. We're all gonna wear Lions hats.
Yeah, we'll be Lions fans. Like just. So we don't got to fight all the time on the part. We just all next year we're all just
we all have to have a team that we all just have root for. We don't have no bias on them.
Yeah. Lions was. I'm not gonna lie. Like Lions was a fun ass team to watch this year. They really were.
Yeah, they were.
I think Jaguars were too, man. Jaguars were a fun team to watch too, man. All these teams that were bad,
changing of the guard, man.
Aaron and Tom, looking shaky, and bad teams looking better. That's the moral of that story this year, man. But shout out to all participants, going up for awards, man. And I hope that somebody doesn't feel like they're screwed. Few people will, though. But that's for another day.
Well, and the last one that we mentioned, we talked about the also the Hall of Fame inductees. We do have the finalists for this year.
Do it.
The finalists for this year we have Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Albert Lewis, Darrelle Rivas, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, and Darren Woodson. It's a hell of a class.
Is there a cap on how many gets in?
I think it's 5.
Where's that list? I can't even.
My man Devin Hester gets in this year. I don't care what nobody.
No chance. I want him in, but no chance. Not with that list. He won't get in this year. He'll get in, but not this year. They have to put him in, though. There's a punter in there. There's a punter in the Hall of Fame, and Hester's the greatest to ever do it.
Torrey Holt.
That's what I'm saying. Torrey Holt got to get in.
Torrey Holt or
Rod Woodson got to get in.
Rod Woodson, you got you got some. I mean, you heard.
How's Rod Woodson not already in?
And Jared Allen.
Darren Woodson.
Oh, Darren Woodson.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
You can ask yourself that same question though.
Yeah, how's Darren not already in?
Jared Allen or the Dwight Freeney. Oh my
God.
And I stand corrected, gentlemen. There's a maximum of 8 can go in.
Okay, then that's a little better than, you know what I'm saying? Now we can
including a senior finalist.
Rondé Barber out.
Rondé's in.
Okay, so let me go back through the names again. Tell me in or out.
Okay.
Jared Allen.
In.
Willie Anderson.
In.
Rondé Barber.
He's going to debate it. I say in, but okay. I'm going to keep my tally. He says out.
Okay, so we got 2 in so far. Dwight Freeney.
In.
Devin Hester.
In. Unanimously.
Y'all both think?
Chance. He crazy. He said unanimously. Who's the next one?
Torrey Hope.
In.
Andre Johnson.
Ooh, keep going.
Albert Lewis.
I'm already at 5. I'm going to go out with him.
Revis Island.
In.
Revis Island? If we're thinking about him, Dan wasn't getting yet, and now Revis is chasing you? Yeah,
Revis got to get in.
Revis Island. He's been talked about a lot, so he's been doing airways, all that.
He's nasty.
Joe Thomas.
In.
Zach Thomas.
No.
In.
No. I'm going to take the guy. What was the guy's?
London Fletcher?
Huh?
Okay.
That's the last one, right?
DeMarcus Ware.
In. Taking him over Zach Thomas. Taking him over Zach.
Reggie Wayne.
He gonna have to wait a year.
Yeah, he ain't it. I'm already at 8.
Patrick Willis.
Only 8? Jesus.
Anybody else is over there for my 8? My 8.
Darren ain't even gonna get in now. Like we started this off saying Darren got to be in. Like Darren's not even like he can't get in now. This is crazy. Because Zach or Patrick Willis, I'm out, man. I got nothing.
Because my biggest thing with Darren, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Cowboy fan.
No pass coverage.
No pass coverage, but he's the modern day template of the way you see safeties play now.
Yeah.
Hold on. No pass coverage?
Yeah. That strong safety down in the box. He was all right. He was like, what's his name from Seattle?
No, he's better than Earl.
Nah, not Earl. That's worse.
Cam?
Nah, the one right there right now, I can't remember his name. They overpaid for him.
I'm your man. I just went for the Jets.
Yeah.
Damn, what's his name? Jalen Adams.
Adams, yeah. But Darren, he was nice. It's true.
So obviously it's team accolades, but he was 3-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
4-time first team All Pro. 5-time Pro Bowl, All Rookie team, Ring of Honor. The Cowboys franchise leader in tackles.
Shit.
23 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 17 forced fumbles, 11 fumble recoveries, and 11 sacks. And I believe I looked at it, his stats were either very close or better than what's the man that's the GM for the 49ers now?
Mike Lynch.
No, yeah. John Lynch.
John Lynch. Yeah. He should have went in before he went in.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then the other defensive players on that list are Zach Thomas, Patrick Willis.
Hell of a list, man. I think Darren gonna get beat out again this year.
Dwight Freeney, Jared Allen, Sack Masters. I mean, that's crazy.
And I think Ware's gonna get in this year. Because it's his second year.
Yeah, Ware too. Maybe they'll start looking at it and capping positions, like because if you put Ware, Freeney, and Allen in, that's 3 edge rushers.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they don't all get in.
And I looked at an article. I know Bleacher Report is Bleacher Report, but Bleacher Report has Darren Winston ranked as the 5th best safety of all time, behind Lynch. Amazing.
Who would you put first? Lott.
Then
for me, next up is Rod Woodson.
I would say Palomalu.
Oh, I can't even say Palomalu before I get to Ed Reed.
True.
Ed Reed, I got Ed Reed over Palomalu. And then Palomalu. Yeah. Damn, Darren fifth. Because then you got Sharper, too, who had 2 careers. One as a corner, one as a safety.
Yep.
Man. It's rough.
It's going to be a hell of a class, man.
Yeah, it is. No bums on that list.
No wonder why these old timers be mad, man. Shit. They're like, damn, man, I did all this, man. I was this top of all these guys.
Yeah.
Now you see why Drew Pearson acted the way he did.
That's exactly. Like, what?
Even though he put on the scene, but
yeah.
Exactly. Like, come on. Where's the love?
And what we got next?
So next up we have
Last but not least. Oh no, not last. Pro Bowl format.
Pro Bowl format. Yep. Anybody watch Pro Bowl game yesterday?
I did. It's interesting.
Enlighten me, because I missed it.
It was weird, man. Well, I didn't hate it. It just was weird.
It wasn't your thing? Was it watchable?
It was watchable. It didn't look much different from when they played the game itself because not a lot of contact. Yeah.
It's like some people think like.
In fact, I saw one hit that was equivalent to any, aside from the time that Sean Taylor tried to kill a man in the middle of the Pro Bowl game. Yeah. Aside from that one hit, I saw probably one of the biggest hits I've ever seen in Pro Bowl yesterday during a flag football game. Tyreek Hill got lit up
by Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah. Ramsey was trying to get the flag from I forget who, and then they lateraled it back to Hill, and Ramsey's momentum carried him into Hill and put a nice little hit on him. That was about it. The balloon toss contest was kind of wild though. It was kind of crazy, like because it tests like your hands and how you can gather the balloon. But yeah, overall it was weird. It was weird, but I didn't hate it. I would like to see another one. Let them get more comfortable with doing it.
Right, definitely. Good. What you see in change, man. You got to get comfortable with it. I didn't watch much of it, but I watched some of the skills competition. I believe that was on Thursday night. Yeah. Like I said, it was a weird thing. You also had the NHL All-Star game this weekend, and these All-Star games don't be hitting, man. Only All-Star games that be hitting for the most part is the MLB and the NBA. So you just fall in. But good shout outs to all the guys that didn't say I don't want to play in the Pro Bowl, couldn't play in the Pro Bowl. Those guys, looked like they were engaged with the activities and they were there. Shout out to Eli and Peyton, too, for continuing to, this is the family, man. This is their lives of football. They're gonna continue their post lives in football. Eli's a funny guy too, man.
Yeah. They got their hands all into
Eli's got more personality than I thought he had. He has more personality than I thought he had.
Yeah, like that whole family got it. Like they both got their hands so far into the NFL's pockets right now. I love it. I love that they're doing that post career.
Oh, you know why they do, right? Because soon enough, little Arch gonna be on the draft board somewhere.
Yeah, Archie's coming.
So, would you say keep it or dump it as far as the current format? Because Josh Jacobs didn't like it.
Look, the alternative is Josh Jacobs. Just be happy. You had a great year. Relax.
You made the Pro Bowl.
He plays for the Raiders. We can't expect him to be happy. But,
oh man,
look, I would say keep it. Like the alternative is having nothing. So just keep it. Tweak it. Have fun with it. Figure it out. Because I also watched this weekend the NHL, and look, this can happen too. I watched the NHL's All-Star like
that was this weekend too.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
And they've gone too far. They've overcorrected. They try to take originally their games, their product was pretty good. Now they're adding this whole kind of crazy aspects to a bunch of different things, and it's like it didn't really work fully, but it wasn't bad. But every year they at least change something or tweak something.
And I feel like they try to film celebrities and different people when their game doesn't even. I mean, from the American standpoint, attract anybody in the U.S., and that's no disrespect to any other people that like hockey. And it's like, we didn't even know about it. I heard about Thursday that they were having NHL weekend. It was on the 4th, and I'm sitting here like, do y'all not know? But that's how much they care about it. They don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they will remain on the bottom of the barrel. But in terms of the NFL, just keep messing with it. You know, year by year, you know, hopefully, you know, people that make Pro Bowls, you know, stay in there, you know, want to play. And, you know, you have a lot of things you could do with the talent that you have. You know, debates that could be settled by just having competitions out there amongst the elites, you know. So shout out to.
Agree with that comment.
NHL skills are all right. I just wish it would have been live and they would have just done one challenge at a time. Jumping around was too much. Yes. Jumping around.
They did crazy. Like the format was kind of nuts. They would it would be like if like an NBA, if they did the first round of the 3-point contest and then switched to the first round of the dunk contest and then switched to the point guard course, like the dribble course, then went back for the final
all over the place
of the 3-point contest. Back to the final dunk. Like they jumped around. It was kind of nuts, but it made it weirder and harder to track, and it kind of took some of the wind out of their sails. Because then we get to a final, it's like, all right, well, this is the final from the thing that you were watching earlier. Like, have fun.
Yeah, well, 30 minutes ago, you know, Paul Konoski, you know, won the
So,
you know, we like,
Then it was like, oh, it's all on the line. Like it was just, Makar has to win it right here. Like, all right, well, you didn't. The bill wasn't there because you left this whole event for 20, 30 minutes.
And real quick before we take our last break and do our Super Bowl prediction. Josh Jacobs, what does he end up at this year in 23?
I mean, if they're trying to bring in Aaron Rodgers and stuff, he better end up in a goddamn Raiders jersey or they're not going to do nothing.
I know he had I don't know which one I'm more surprised at. The season he had because of all the crap he had to deal with. You know, the inconsistent quarterback play and the injuries and whatnot. Or he's only 24 years old.
Who, Josh?
Yeah, it's like been playing forever.
I feel like he's been there for like 6, 7 years. That's weird.
The way the Raiders organization rocks and rolls, and then you gotta remember they had a move too, so it does feel like that long. You know, but it's more moves and transactions than actually, you know, being in the league. From what I can sense, this guy has a hell of a career in front of him. I mean, he'll be one of those guys at the top. You know, obviously situation, you know, he's had problems on the field, off the field. So there'll be teams looking to reach out. I would hold off on the Raiders just for now. But he's definitely going to be interesting to see where his agent has him looking at, what teams it is, and maybe they steer him in a different direction.
If he's 24, you gotta pay him. You gotta pay the man.
One of the teams that he's rumored to possibly going to.
Yeah.
I don't like either one of these. Well, I like Detroit.
Yeah.
This one scares me. Philadelphia.
Shit.
Miami.
Also shit.
Those are the top 3, but the number one destination that they're expecting him to potentially go to is the Bills.
Weird. Yeah, tough. Like I said before, they got to use their running backs to make it worth it. You might go up there and get a nice bag and then just watch football from the backfield.
Yeah. So we're going to take our last break. Then we'll come back and hit these Super Bowl predictions and wrap it all up.
Sounds good.
Have a good time. So y'all hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts. We'll be back in about 15, 20. Appreciate you.
Come back and roll with us.
It was good with the people. It's Montreal McNeander, NFL linebacker for the Cleveland Browns and Grambling alumni. I had to come through today. Give a special shout out to my dudes over at STWF Media, the big brand, where you can talk sports with the other NFL players, fans in their Facebook community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get them boys a shout out. Go check out their page. And I promise you, man, you're gonna love everything that you hear and enjoy it.
Yes, sir. Doing a damn thing. Appreciate y'all hanging out with your boys on the Playcall Sheet, taking an in-depth look at the NFL and what all it has to offer. Obviously, this weekend is the granddaddy of them all. We got Super Bowl, was it 57?
Super Bowl 57. 57.
57. So we're going to take a look at what our Super Bowl predictions are versus what Vegas says. So for Vegas, the odds. So first of all, the over and under 50.5. I think we're gonna see that.
Yeah, because I got it 27-24.
27-24.
I think we're gonna see the over. I think we're gonna see the over. I think we're gonna see one of these teams try to carry themselves back into this game, which will make it competitive. So I can see the over going on in these games, man. Super Bowl usually, some Super Bowls you don't get it, but you get that flexibility of the offense opening up for some reason. You'll probably get a defensive touchdown. You'll get something in between. Something that's been popping up on prop bets is special teams play that may happen. Maybe a touchdown or a kickoff or a punt return.
I saw today Nicole Hardman IR for the season.
Yes, and then Chiefs are activating Hilaire.
Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, yeah.
They're gonna activate him for the Super Bowl. So yeah, man, interesting. One receiver gone. Patty would love to use another bullet, but this bullet's gonna be on the shelf.
Scaling and Tony dealing with injuries, but they say that they're gonna look good for game time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 27-24 Chiefs.
I did get Jake. He's back. He's back to work tonight. While he's not hanging out with us. But he had it 40 to 33, I believe. Philly.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm just gonna stamp a winner. I'm gonna stamp Mahomes in this one. I'm gonna stamp Mahomes and the Chiefs in this one. I just have this feeling that this is what they want, and this is what they're gonna receive. They'll receive KC, winning, because got there for sure. Patrick Mahomes don't win a Super Bowl. The talk that's gonna be talked about, you don't.
That's a basketball score word, Frankie. It is.
I think
definitely basketball score.
I think Kansas City is going to win only because I saw some of the defensive struggles that Philly had. I don't know if they're going to correct them all of a sudden like that. And I think,
that D line crazy, but everything else is beatable.
Yeah, secondary looks a little banged up. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a good game. One little juicy thing though, that I didn't realize that until in last week. So we all know how Sirianni, he seems like he's a bit of a tool at times, but he seems like he also holds grudges. And he was on the coaching staff in Kansas City when Andy Reid took over as coach and was not retained.
Ooh,
little juicy nugget right there.
Yeah, he got a little chip on his shoulder.
Absolutely. You know how that guy is.
That should be fun. I'm surprised they haven't brought that up more during this week.
Yeah,
they'll probably bring it up tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be media day coming up, so they'll do that.
Media day tonight or tomorrow?
A week.
Flew in today.
They flew in. Yeah, they flew in. So they probably be Monday.
Tonight.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
They usually on Mondays. Hold on, let me check.
I feel like Tuesday, Wednesday for the Super Bowl.
So Sirianni was in Kansas City in 2000. 9. Is that the same time when McCarthy was the OC there?
I can't remember. Let me see McCarthy.
I always love looking at coaching trees. McCarthy was there from 93 to 98. No, he wasn't there then.
Okay, so media days is today. It's currently going on right now. It's starting at 8:00. It's on the NFL Network or ESPN2. So you'll hear a bunch of stuff going on in regards to the situation or people's lives. While you're on the news streams tonight.
Oh, Sirianni was there with Todd Haley. That's who he was there with.
Okay.
And guess what, man? Remember, we're getting a Super Bowl with two African American QBs, man. We're getting soul food Super Bowl, man. So your nachos and your chicken, buffalo chicken, that may not be on the shelf, man. It might be some collard greens, some fried chicken. You know what I'm saying?
The melanin bowl.
Black History Bowl, man. Big festivity for it, man. So whoever's having a Super Bowl party, man, invite me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
You know what I laughed at the most though is the attention that Patty's dad was getting.
Oh
yeah.
People say he look like a shade tree mechanic.
People like really like, oh my God, I didn't know Patrick Mahomes' father looked like that. Like what? He's from the streets? On that Joe Burrow pack.
But I'm not surprised his dad was born in Bryan, Texas.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's funny. No, can corn dogs this year. That's hilarious.
Man, you got shout outs tonight. Let's do this.
Shout out to you guys, man, tuning in tonight, man.
No raisins in the potato salad.
Definitely. Great, always great to start Monday nights off. Guys, speaking of football, it's a play call sheet, man. And guys, I don't know. Is this the last one?
We got to come back next week and talk about Super Bowl.
We're not going to leave you guys. We're not going to leave you guys sad this week, man. We're going to resume the play call sheet, which is the finale next week, where we'll put a little funny into the show. But other than that, man, appreciate everybody that's been tuning in to play call sheets, man, all season long, man. Tuning into the guys and their opinions, things that we've put in for discussion and everybody's comments and all responses, man. And thanks.
And we got some stuff cooking up for the replacement of the play call sheet for sure. I'm thinking about that's where we should put the homework show, where we have to watch something. Mm-hmm. We all have to watch something, and then we talk about it on that Monday. I think that'd be fun. We got some ideas cooking up for sure. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody who came through. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to I Need More PTO. Yeah, you ain't never lied.
Enjoyed you last week, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to you fellas, man. Shout out to the brand. Let's go.
Already. Shout out to you fellas, man. Shout out to, let's get on this listen like we always do around about this time. We got Bobby, Chris, Daryl, Jake, Godfrey, Dakayla, and Jake. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. I said Jake twice, my bad. He's on Jake.
Hey, yo, man, today too, man, 50 Cent 20th anniversary. Give it start trying, man. You know what I'm saying?
Real? That made me feel real old.
I was in a homeroom when I heard about that drop.
Really?
I was in homeroom, high school.
Damn, I see it had a hairline.
You were getting the bootleg, man, and booming that in, man.
I ain't have no dreads. I had just braids.
Oh, man, that's what's up.
Man. So, yeah, man.
Well, you know what, man?
Also this weekend. Also, if you're a wrestling fan, this weekend was the 30 years to the day. That Hulk Hogan was screwed out of the WWF title by Andre the Giant, and then Andre the Giant named him as the champion. So, obviously my wrestling vibe tonight is Monday night, man.
I can dig it.
I was dying at that the whole weekend. You know, rewatched the match. You know, had him yelling at both Hebners. First time you ever found out that Earl had a brother that looked like him.
Right. That's crazy.
Play call sheet, man. When we play calls, and I kind of audible sometimes, so you can see that. And you know, that's how they roll.
We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hang out with your boys tomorrow night, 7:30 sharp for the chop up. Got some hot fire for you. Other than that, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Yeah.